You ever see something new and shiny and you're thinking, man, that's great, I want to get that? Well, it happened to me and now I got these new seats. Actually, they're not even new seats and I wasn't really looking for them. These seats came across Pelican Parts. A friend told me about them. He's like, hey, this is a great deal. You should buy them or I will. The previous seats in this car were the Sparco R100s and there was nothing wrong with them. They actually were pretty comfortable and they worked just fine. But these seats are going to be better for a lot of reasons. Today I'm going to show you guys what I have to do to install it correctly and some of the advantages of this seat over the Sparco R100s. So, as always, check it out, stay tuned, and enjoy the fun. So I went down to San Diego, I picked up these seats. I think I paid 800 bucks for them. Got them home and I'm like, shoot, I don't have any room to store these. So I listed the Sparco R100s. They sold the same night, so I had to rush to get them taken out of the car. So I had to temporarily install this so I could drive Mac back over to storage. Benji's car was here. I didn't have a place to keep Mac inside. And this weekend I have some friends coming, some family coming, so I wanted to have both seats in the car. Alex is home from college and wants to go for a ride. I only attached it here in the front. I'm just undoing the front bolts while I'm sitting here. And of course, the bolt pattern is different than the Sparcos. So the other naughty thing that I did is I just tapped the tubing here, which is an 11 gauge tubing. So the thread engagement isn't really sufficient for a seat mount. These are the holes for the Sparcos, and then these are the holes for the new BF Torinos. And you can see how the threads go all the way down to the bottom of the tube. That's how it should be. This is just temporary to get these seats to fit. They're almost brand new seats. The guy had them in a Porsche. They have sliders and it came with these adapters too. He basically said he didn't really like the insert color. They don't recline. And also you can run a 5-point harness through there too. So I'm using this hole and then there's this one which is at 11 inches. And then there's the slotted hole which is nice, but that hangs off the back of my FIA rails. You can see how 11 inches fits within the spacing of the rails. I'm gonna have to move this hole over just a little bit. The other thing to note about the factory seat position is that it's a little bit left of center on the steering wheel. So what I've done, and I've carefully measured straight down with the plumb bob, and that told me where the center was. And so I've actually moved my seat over towards the middle of the car so that it's lined up with the steering wheel. Say bye to Mac while the sparks fly. This was a difficult hole to drill here because it comes out here on an angle. I could have made this spacer, I could have made it longer and had an angle on it, but I didn't feel like doing a lot of grinding there, and this is on the bottom side, so there's no way you're gonna be able to rip the spacer out. It's welded around the entire top and here on the bottom about probably a third of the way, so it's not coming out. Now that this hole is finished, I'm gonna use it as a reference to create that hole, or at least move that hole. That's what the hole looks like once I kind of moved it over. So now I take it to the drill press and clean it up. This weld got kind of close to the threads, but threads still work, and this is still hot. I managed to get all the holes relocated for both passenger and driver seats, but we're not done yet. The other problem I found when the driver's seat was temporarily installed, when you lift up, there's a bar to change the seat position, and sometimes your fingers can get stuck between the bar and this bar. So the bar you use to adjust the seat, your fingers come real close to it as you're sliding it back and forth. And then on the bar in the rear, I've noticed that some of the pieces of the seat hang down. There's like some retaining wires and some of the fabric fasteners and stuff. And what happens with the weight of your body in the actual seat, those hooks can scrape on the bar and kind of give you like a crunchy feeling as those metal pieces are sliding over the bar. I've also labeled all of these with the engraver so I know exactly where they go in the car. As you can tell, I notched a big chunk out of the side of this tubing. That's going to, like I said, allow that handle to work better and prevent the bottom of the seat from rubbing on the bars. I've already tacked it in a few places, so now I'm gonna clamp it to the table and weld this entire seam. It's fully welded now. I'm gonna take the clamps off and hopefully it doesn't go boing. Give it a few whacks. Oh, it's actually fine. I left this little part open here. I'm gonna block that off with a small little patch. This is the little patch piece I made for this part, and I'm just trying to find a way not to let it drop in the hole. So I have this magnet here. Going to use that to hold it from falling in and hopefully get it tacked in place. The hard part is welding with the magnet right there, because the filler rod wants to stick to the magnet and the arc actually moves. Got it. So there's the raw welds there. Just need to hit it with the grinder, just like I did on all this other stuff, and should be ready for paint. Okay, now we switched over to the flap disc. This is going to do a little softer job. All four are now done. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of work, but it's really important to me to get the right seating position, and without doing this level of detail, I don't know how you get there. I think these seats in the stock location would be way too high, not the best for driving position. So this is my car, it's no compromise. I definitely wanna do the best I can. This didn't really cost me anything, it just took like probably 2 hours of welding and grinding. So I'm just gonna do a real quick dusting of paint. Now we can put it all back together. We got a special guest, just arrived, Cory. Cory from Rennen, and he's a neighbor. He's also a car guy. He's got a couple cars, just like mine. What is it? You got a 77?
I got a 76 911S, yep. Peru red, and I got a 65 356 that I've been working on forever.
Close to mine. Yeah, same story.
Same condition.
Same story.
And I just found a 66 911 last year that I've been stripping down and rebuilding. So it's been a lot of fun.
So Cory's certainly a car guy. We are about 10 miles apart here in Huntington Beach, Costa Mesa. But he's also a t-shirt guy. And so my shirt is well worn. I mean, I got holes and doing heavy fabrication like today. This thing is trashed. I haven't had a new shirt in like 4 years, and it's totally time. We got 10,000 followers now. So we're gonna be doing a new shirt design by Cory. And we're gonna announce that on a live stream, probably not this week, but next week, probably on like a Wednesday. Cory and I will be there to explain all the cool stuff we're doing together. New shirts, limited edition, really cool stuff. So I'm excited that Cory's here, and maybe you can help me put the seats in.
Yeah, sounds fun. Let's do it.
All right, awesome. All right, the seats are in, but not bolted down. I'm having trouble getting all 4 bolts to thread in okay. The access is really tight, especially in the rear, when you have to slide the seat all the way forward and try to start the bolts in the holes. I think there's a little bit of paint in the holes, and I should have chased the threads after welding and so forth. I'm gonna have to take them back out. This is what I'm dealing with. See how the bolt there is obstructed by the seat itself? The seat won't go any more forward. I did cut one of the Allen wrenches just to be able to fit it underneath there, but see how tight that is? It just doesn't really want to move, and I don't want to ruin the threads. I just went to the store and got this hex key that has the ball end. the ball is ingenious, so you can kind of sneak to the side of the seat and torque it in, or at least get the thread started. So this is the clearance I was after, so you can get your fingers just underneath there between the adjuster and the bar. So when you lift it up, your fingers don't get stuck in there. Exactly in the middle. I don't know if you noticed that on 911s, but typically you're like this. I'm like this.
Do you know your way around, or?
No.
Okay, yeah, left here, and then we can get down to the coast. I love that sound, man.
Oh, it gets loud, believe me. It's basically just the engine is like piped in because there's holes back there.
They're not hard to get into either.
Yeah, they have more cushions than the Sparcos did. What do you think of the recline? Do you think they feel good?
Here? Yeah.
I mean, because you have to adjust it with washers. It's not like you can do much to adjust it. But once it's set, like, I'm pretty happy with the recline as it is. I feel like I'm a little close to this, like, compared.
I think headroom is good.
Based on like on your 76, you think?
Yeah, I think I'm just probably a little flatter.
Okay,
more angle, but,
gotcha.
You know, I mean, you got tons of headroom, so if you're gonna wear a helmet, then you're probably.
Yeah, I would never hit, and I'm almost 6 foot, so it's
Okay.
But this, seriously, I think this is as low as I can get them. But I think they're pretty soft.
I wouldn't change them, honestly. I think they're good.
They're pretty good.
Whoa.
So the Sparcos were easier to get in and out of, but this definitely gives you more support. Like once you're in, it feels nice.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to get out. I like the way it feels.
And you got the Papita.
Papita or houndstooth? What's the difference?
Houndstooth.
What's the difference?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think it's the same.
All I know is I got a good deal because the guy didn't like the material.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he bought a car and these came with it, and he switched them out right away, so.
Oh wow. I mean, it's the classic, early 70s Porsche.
Yeah, I should have sold him my Sparcos. You see that? It pops out of gear. If I'm like coasting in third, it'll just pop out. Kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm excited about the new shirt.
Yeah.
So I've seen the artwork, and it's like got a little 356, a little 911. It's got the garage. It's going to be really good. Definitely more artistic, more hand-drawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I think you guys will like it. But thanks for helping with the seats.
Yeah.
It's lunchtime now, so that's it for this one. I love the seats. I think it was worth the extra effort. Let me know what you think.